What up, YouTube? Franchise TV. Franchise TV, that's my other channel. Franchise Sports, back again with another video. I wanted to make this video a couple days ago, but I never got a chance to. So, actually, I made a reference to this incident last week. So last week, the Suns and the Warriors played, right? Devin Booker and Klay Thompson got into each other, which led up to Klay Thompson getting ejected for that game. And I heard about this probably Saturday, and I wanted to make a video about it, but I just didn't have the time to do it. So now is the time to do it. But during the segment for Inside NBA last week Tuesday, Charles Barkley said this. He stated that Klay Thompson and Draymond Green were clearly past their primes. Said the pair was slipping, although not finished. Quote what Barkley said: "When I watch the Warriors play, I say, oh man, Father Time is knocking on the door." You know what? Nah, I'm not going to do the voice, but Father Time is knocking on the door of a couple of those guys, Barkley said. I think you saw tonight, he's like, this young boy is kicking my ass, ain't nothing I can do about it. There was a time when Klay was the best two-way guard in the NBA, and he's not the same guy, and that's because of injuries. Is he done? No, I don't think, but I think he is slowing down, and it's catching up with him. That's why he's frustrated. So Klay Thompson got word of that. He said those comments hurt his heart. And Steph Curry kind of backed him up on it. But here's Klay Thompson's full response. Someone like Charles Barkley with that platform he has says you're not the same prior to injuries you had. It's like, no doubt, man. I tore my ACL, Achilles in consecutive years. I still help a team win a championship, Thompson said. It hurt hearing that because it's like, man, I put in so much freaking effort to get back to this point. It's hard to put words that what I had to do to be that player I am today. I played 57 games in 3 years. Give me some freaking time to get back. To hear someone say, oh no, he's not the same prior to the injuries is like, duh. Who's going through something like that and comes back? I don't know. It just hurt my heart hearing that. But you know what? I'm going to internalize it and going to be fuel for me to be even better. And I'm very proud of what I accomplished in the last year, and I feel like I was a huge part of it. So I'm not going to let these injuries be a crutch for me. I'm going to keep going and give it a great year. Bet on it. So that's what Klay's response to what Charles Barkley said. And here's a couple of things I want to take from this whole entire thing. One, I think Steph said something that Charles Barkley wasn't the same player around that age too. He's right, he wasn't. But here's the thing that people tend to forget, and what's Charles Barkley is right on. Father Time does catches us all. Every single one of us. Now, me and Klay are the same age. We're both 32 years old. I'm not in the NBA, and I never came off an ACL Achilles injury. But last year, after a freaking sprain of my foot, or whatever I did to it, whatever it was, the spraining of my foot and ankle at the same time, and the same play and the same injury, I had to come to terms with it ain't gonna be the same as it was before. You're just not. And you get through your 30s, you just get slower and slower and slower. Now for Klay, he hadn't played in almost 2 years. Remember, back in the NBA Finals in 2019, he had the ACL injury, and then he tried to come back after that ACL injury was healed, and then he tore his Achilles. He missed not 56 months, but he pretty much missed almost 2 years. Now, if you look at Klay's numbers in the last 2 years, let's see here. You really can't tell too much on his numbers. So, to go back to at least to the 2015-2016 season, in any 80 games, Klay averaged 22.1. This is offensively. Even when Kevin Durant got there, for the first year Kevin Durant was there, 22.3, and then he kind of went down. And next year Kevin Durant was there. When he won, I should say, he was 20.0 or 20 points a game. And then that last year, before he had the injury, that same year he was 21. He went back up. Last year, out of 32 games, he was averaged 20 points a game. So it's kind of hard to tell. But if you take the eye test and seeing how bad Golden State is right now, you look at their defense, right? And their defense is kind of not as the same. Klay Thompson, a couple years ago, was probably one of their best defensive players. And now that he had these two injuries, it's just not the same. People are just shooting on him, driving to the basket. From one of the games I've seen, people just, anybody can just pick a shot over him. So, what was I going to say next? So, you could say that Klay Thompson's, I wouldn't say lack of defense, but his declining defensive prowess is probably one of the issues why Golden State is happening now. And I ain't even hearing rumors that he probably should come off the bench like Westbrook should. I don't know if that's the right move. Maybe it could do him better service and let them young guns go out there and hoop and start. But for Klay, he shouldn't get too overworked, shouldn't get too brokenhearted, shouldn't get too sad or take offense of it. It happens to all of us once we get past our 30s. For him, it just happens to be probably a little bit worse because of his injuries. So, it is what it is. Barkley had it. Jordan had it. All the greats had it. Klay Thompson's most likely going to be a Hall of Famer. For the Golden State fans, if you guys had Steph and everything, but no Klay, no rings. You got to think about it like that. He has to think about it like that. And yes, he was still a big part of that team, the championship win. So it is what it is. But that's all I had to say about it. Let's just see what happens for the rest of the year for the Golden State Warriors.